So you're young, you're a young black man that lives in the suburbs. You went to suburban schools, well, white schools. A lot of people would say that you're privileged. Would you say you're privileged?
Yeah, I would to a certain degree. Yeah, definitely. I would say to a certain degree, but not all the way privileged. And I'm not saying that there's young black men my age who weren't. They definitely were, but it would be unfair for me to say I wasn't privileged because I know what a lot of black men and women have been through. But of course, growing up in a suburb, going to white schools and all of that, as you get older and you start and you leave home and all that, I've had a lot of humbling years. Yeah, I've had a lot of humbling years. Especially I'm from Durban and living in Cape Town, living in Johannesburg. I've had a lot of humbling years, and it's not just me. Everybody's been through that.
Do you think that as a black young man, you have had to work harder to get to the same place that a white guy would have had to?
Certainly, definitely. I've been fortunate enough to work in a lot of different industries, per se. And, I've actually just started a new job where I've been there for a month, but in my previous job, my boss was not only younger than me, of course he was white. Not only was he younger than me, and that happens, you move around your career and you'll find that, but he not only was he younger than me, not only was he less equipped for the job, not only did I find myself doing his job at times, and of course you find you go to certain company events and you start to see things like the CEO is friends with his dad. He got the job, because of certain things, and then you see interns that come in that applied for the job, and that were hired by the people with hiring power, and you just see the way that they treat it as opposed to interns that, this is John's son, he's gonna be interning with us, he's really interested, not qualified, interested, and you don't see a lot of that happening with black people coming into any internship.
Do you think that there's pay differences?
Yeah, definitely.
At the same level?
Definitely. When it hit me was when, what's it called? Black Friday.
Yeah.
Black Friday last year. I was at Incredible Connection, trying to, get a few things on a low price. And I bumped into my boss, the one who's younger than me. And he's leaving with like 3 trolleys. And so one day he accidentally sends me his payslip. My God. My God, like wow. And even when you do hand in resignation letters and so on, and there's always counter offers. And just having known what my boss, who I was doing way more than, was getting paid, and when obviously they are interested in the package you're about to move to, and you tell them, and they just like, whoa, nah. But you know what's going on.
Else
what's going on.
Yeah, different channel
crazy.
they'd meet it. So, what are the other, just in general in life, what are the other injustices or the other racial experiences that you have?
Racial profiling is a real thing, and there's no way to run away from it. You can find it in line at Checkers. You can find it at the bank. You can find it applying for a new place, for a car, whatever. It really is real, and I think what's going on now, and there's certain there's reason for certain things, but being a young black man or just being a black man, racial profiling has fallen to a place where even within black people, we all know about men are trash. Indeed, they are. But I've had experiences where I was living in Cape Town, and a girl was being, even with my brother in Durban, a girl was being harassed, and you try, if you were raised a certain way, you try to stand up, and my father hates that. He really thinks it's like, don't get killed. So you try to stand up for what's right, and you end up getting beat up by a bunch of men, also black men. But I remember when the whole all men are trash thing started. I was in a meeting that day, and there was this old, like, he's probably in his 50s, 60s, and he just wasn't there. And so we asked him, like, what's going on? What's wrong? And it's like, I've really tried to provide my daughter with a lot, and I happen to have her on social media. And all of a sudden today, she's going and ranting about all black men are trash and so on and so forth. What did I do? And it's like, no, you didn't do anything. It's just that's what's going on. And there's a lot of reasons why that's true. There's a lot of reasons why that's true, but
it also means that you're then profiled.
Of course.
Not only as a black person, but also as a man.
Of course.
Sure. What are your responses to racism? How do you have fun?
Well, I think it's all about character. We all have different responses to racism, and I remember a couple of years ago, I said to you, I don't understand why black people get offended by racism, because it also probably has to do with the fact that I was raised a certain way, or I grew up in a certain setting where white people can't offend me. You know what I'm saying? So I never understood why do we as black people get offended by white people, because why do you care? And then you said to me, I need to realize that not everybody is equipped with the knowledge or confidence around white people. There's people who get paid or who go to work every day and get told by their bosses or employees.
It's a power thing.
It's a power thing, you know what I'm saying? And my reaction to all of that these days, I find myself reacting in anger, of course, because white people are my equal. To me, you're not better than me, and so what you say or what you do, it's to me it's like who do you think you are? But that was, after that period or conversation we had, and the transformation towards racism, I've become extremely I find myself where there's times where I'm waiting, like I can't wait, and it's not good.
Yeah,
it's not good.
So how do you think we move forward as young black people?
Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of us want to know the answer to that question.
Yeah, we do.
A lot of us want to know the answer to that question, and when you find yourself in difficult situations that have to do with racism, every now and again the anger disappears and you feel God, you feel it, and you find yourself laughing about it. Like, this is funny, like the fact that this is happening is hilarious. And you go about it and you move on with your day with peace of mind, and I don't believe or agree that black people should accept it and just laugh it off, because it's tangible and it affects everything in our lives. But I don't have an answer for that question, but for myself, I just find myself laughing about it. Yeah, because there's if you're having a great day, that's because of God. If you're having a great week, a great year, a great month, that's because of God. And I'm not gonna let that ruin my day.
Sure.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
And what's your hope for young people in South Africa?
Confidence. Confidence. Well, for black people, it's confidence. It's definitely for confidence, because we need that. We definitely need confidence. Not confidence to fight, but confidence to go on about our lives. Definitely to become and to be. We definitely need confidence. We need confidence. Really not to fight, but just to, and not even to accept, just to, I don't know what the word is, but just to be at peace. Just be. We need confidence. We really do. We do.
Or maybe to take our place in the world. Actually, the confidence to take our place.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely. Not to find ourselves or where we come from, or to find ourselves, not where we come from, because that I don't know if that will ever happen.
Sure.
Finding where we come from, I don't think it will. But to find our place in the world and to establish who we are and just be confident and not having to prove it, just knowing it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you for sharing what it's like to be a young black man in South Africa.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.